let me represent being a black man for a second. If I look at your career and I'm like, okay, but some of the stuff you do is a little too gay for me. I don't feel like me having to like pose in a dress, for an example, that doesn't work well for me, right? From your perspective, can you still be a black male fashion model without having to have to do things that for most men are perceived as, this is a little too feminine, this is a little too gay for me?
Absolutely.
Still be considered like a icon in fashion?
Depends on who you are. If you come into the industry and you're a big social influencer and you have a name for yourself and you're already established, it's obviously easier for you to go about it. But someone that is new and you're trying to become an icon, it's going to be hard for you to become this icon without you being willing to adapt to change and willing to step out of your comfort zone.
But do you know what that sounds like to like the average listener?
I mean, it sounds weird, and it sounds
like, if
cliche.
you want to be famous, you have to do this stuff.
It's not about being famous, but it's like, if you want to be successful in this industry, there are going to be times where you're put in stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, or you're put in a position that may not make you feel uncomfortable, but they just put you in stuff that you may not like, or you may not wear personally. But it's just like, not only are you getting a paycheck, but this is getting you exposure, and it's getting you to this next level of becoming the icon that you hope to be. So it's not like you're chasing fame, but like, if you want to be successful, you have to be open and willing to do what agents are asking you to do to work with certain clients.
And I think that there's boundaries and levels, because like the first level that we talked about initially that we came across each other is hair, right? Like that's first boundary. But I think like understanding the levels of what that looks like and explaining it to men so that they understand, hey, like hair is definitely something you got to be flexible with. That's a no-brainer. You have to be flexible with your hairstyle, changing it up if you want to become a model. That's just a part of the job. But even in asking you that, can you think of a male model that hasn't had to do that and has had success in modeling? Specifically a black man.
Like changing
like,
of the hair.
No. Specifically like more feminine type presentation.
I haven't personally come across anyone that has had success with just like staying firm and like what they want.
Like very heteronormative.
Yeah,
masculine.
I mean, I haven't met anyone that was personally like that. I mean, anyone that I know model wise are all willing to adapt to what someone's asking them to do to make money. I mean, it's putting money in your pocket. It's giving you exposure. I mean, you want to do it, you have to do it, but you still have the option. You know, your agents may ask you, "Oh, can you cut your hair?" And at the end of the day, you can say yes or no. But if you say no, then you're
losing out on
possibly hindering yourself at getting a job with someone that asked you to cut it from the beginning. You know,
it's tough because it's like, in one part, I want males to want to do this, but then I also don't want to convey to them that they have to do. And when we're talking about uncomfortable things, I think what I'm specifically talking about, number one, you're going to wear makeup all the time. Any shoots. We're not talking about like your basic makeup, eyeliner, eyeshadow, like that stuff. That to me, I wouldn't want to do. Like if I was a male model, like don't try to make me look like a woman. Make me look cleaned up, makeup, hair. Yeah, like make me look like the best version of myself, 100%. But don't make me look like a female, because I'm not a female. What I don't like generally is emasculation of men, right? I don't want men to and there's a healthy part of this conversation where we're talking about men. Yes, 100% in every culture, Latin culture, black culture, every culture need to be learning how to express themselves more, tap into the feminine nature, feminine side. And what that looks like is, of course, like being more loving, be more caring, expressing yourself, talking to people, you know, whatever. Those are normal things, 100%. I don't think that's the same thing as a man needing to put on a dress or wear heels.
Exactly.
And that's, I think, the problem in fashion is that male models are constantly having to choose to have to like do that in order for their careers to advance. And then where I also feel that's kind of like, I don't know, like disingenuous is like, but those editorials, because most of the time they're editorials, they're not actually for paid jobs.
Exactly.
They're always for editorials. It doesn't do anything necessarily for someone's career. Like the best that you can hope for is that you work with a great team, and then that team is the one that has the connections for other jobs.
Or they put you into a brand that's bigger, and then the client sees it, and then they pull you
because they see it in the magazine.
They see it in the magazine.
But then I'm like, how many brands are actually reading through editorials nowadays? Because it's not the same way as it used to be.